Hey guys, this is Market Update. Absolutely insane moves, really, really volatile. So it's always fun when like 50% of your net worth just evaporates within 6 weeks, right? But this is a really, really volatile move to the downside. I mean, you're talking about higher volatility and bigger moves than, last cycle's entire collapse of the industry. The whole entire industry collapsed last cycle. Luna, FTX, Celsius, BlockFi, all of those, all at the same time. And then the Biden administration said, oh, by the way, we're going to sue your entire industry and send it to zero. And we're moving like more volatile than that, straight down, straight to the 200 period. Kind of insane moves, really. Look, the long term, right, for this is that anywhere near the 200 period moving average is typically a fantastic time to buy. Now, we stayed under it a lot last cycle for a very long period because of FTX and everything going on with that. These times we just bounced very, very quickly from it. Doesn't feel like we're going to bounce, right? Because let's be fair, the Fed is in control of everything, and they just don't want to move, right? They're not going to print, they're not going to cut rates. That's what they said. I think there's a 20% chance that they'll cut the next meeting. I think that has to go higher, right? Because you're just seeing risk off in everything, right? And they're just way offside, like 3.75%. If you look at the inflation figures from Truflation, which is way more accurate than the government data, it's low. I mean, it's like under 1%. Jobs are getting soft as well if you look at some of that data. So I think 20% is too low for the potential cut odds. But look, everything's off. Amazon's off. Microsoft. I mean, looking at Mag 7 off. Bitcoin and Mag 7 very, very correlated, especially to the downside, right? So Bitcoin off 50 when Microsoft is off 30. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but the speed of the move, just straight down to the 200 period, is definitely bizarre. Has someone blown up? But we haven't heard anything, right? So there must be someone just absolutely getting rid of everything that they have. Central bank or a small central bank or a market maker or someone. It will come out in the wash at some point. Maybe we'll find out. You can't do anything here because you just don't know what's happening with the price. But you have to have a 5 or 10 year view, and you're buying at the 200 period moving average. So what does that mean? This is my long-term chart. You can ask for this in the Discord server. I'll link it below. It's part of the crypto course. So come and ask me for this chart if you want to have it. But my long-term outlook here is that I take the 200 period moving average, right, which is the actual price of Bitcoin over the long term for an investor. If you haven't invested for 4 or 5 years into Bitcoin consistently, then you're not really an investor in Bitcoin. You're at the wrong price, right? You have to invest through a cycle and get this 200 period moving average. So that's your price. And then from here, what I've done is extrapolated the 200 week moving average with a growth rate of, it was 40% here. I've put it down to 30 and then 25, so up here. And then extrapolated that out with the green lines. So I think that the 200 period moving average in 2036 could be around about 500K. So if you believe that Bitcoin's going to go up in value versus dollars, then a 25% growth rate is, it's kind of in the ballpark, right? I mean, the NASDAQ goes up 18% or has done for the last decade. Bitcoin should have a bit more growth or a little bit more than that, right? So say 25% over a decade. So you're looking at the 200 period moving average being about 600K. But of course, for the moving average to go up, the price has to drag it up. And so it's usually above that by some delta. And if you look at the NASDAQ can be kind of 20, 30, 40% above the 200 period. So to put Bitcoin in kind of the same way, you're looking at $800,000, maybe $1 million Bitcoin in 2036. Or it could be in a bear market and it could be 400K, right? We don't know. But so to say 800K in a good scenario where it's gone up at around about 25% a year, and it's, a decent chunk above the 200 period moving average, around 800K. So you can just, ask Rock here. So if we're buying at certain prices now and the price is going to be 800K in 10 years, then what's the annual rate of return that I would get? So what are we, 65, 70? So you're looking at a 25 to 30% ARR if you bought now and it went to 800K in 10 years, which outperforms all other large asset classes if you're looking at indexes. Even at 80, 90, 100K, you're still outperforming the other indexes. S&P is going to be 12, 15 in a good case scenario. NASDAQ, 18% in a good case scenario. Gold, I'm sure it will do okay, but I just can't see it sustaining 20, 30% a year, for a decade. So even up here at 110, 120, you're still getting good performance, right? And so that's why a lot of people say, and myself included, 110, 120, yeah, it's absolutely fine. Now I had a sell order in at 150 because 150 for me was like, that's starting to get kind of overpriced where the annual rate of return over a 10-year period is not like massive. And maybe you can actually just diversify into NASDAQ or something else, even though the price action is very similar, but different asset classes. That, if you think Bitcoin's highly priced and you're going to get like a 20% IRR for 10 years, well, 18% in the NASDAQ with lower volatility might be a good idea then. But we didn't even get there. We've just crashed right down now. So yeah, if you believe in the asset, I mean, you buy it at these levels. But yeah, bizarre price action, kind of unexplainable. But look, everything's come off. I'm not really sure what the Fed is looking at, to be honest, because if you look at real-time data, inflation is nowhere to be seen. It's actually way softer than it should be, or what their target is. But they're still at like 3 3/4 on the overnight rate. I think the market's assumption of a rate cut in the next meeting is like 20%. I think that has to go way higher. Look at the data. Look how soft it's becoming. Too late, Powell. What are you doing? Like 1% CPI? So according to Trueflation, which is accurate data, it leads the government data, and it is accurate. Very, very accurate. US CPI is 1%. 1.32 for core CPI. PCE 1.29. Core PCE 1.48%. Versus the BLS CPI in December, which was 2.7. Someone's lying here, and it's not Trueflation, because Trueflation is just accurate price data. They just get all the price feeds and everything. So you've got a huge deflationary episode happening here. Jobs data is also getting weaker, as you can see here. This is weak. It's getting much, much weaker than it was. JOLTS openings are back at 2018 levels. 2018 levels when they cut to 0% and printed money. So it's a weird scenario where you can see the real-time data happening. The Fed is dragging its heels with this kind of lagging, strange data, pretending like inflation is still a problem when the market is telling you it isn't. Tech is very, very sensitive to like all the market makers in the world, big market makers, Citadel and everyone else, they have real-time data. They know what's going on. The Fed is nonsense. The Fed, very, very slow. All of their data is slow. They just lie and about everything and what they're doing. I know they have things to control, but the market, real-time data is showing you that everything is pretty weak. The jobs data is pretty soft and inflation is nowhere to be seen. And there's a risk of deflation. But you've got the Fed at 3.75% on the overnight rate. So something doesn't give here, right? And usually what has to give is the market says, we'll just sell everything off and create this huge panic. And then the Fed says, oh, okay, yep, you're right, right? So maybe we just have to wait for that. Tariffs are not inflationary. An exhaustive historical study on tariffs from the San Francisco Fed confirms it. Tariffs haven't caused any inflation. You're seeing disinflation around the economy because tariffs are a tax. When you take money out of the system, that money isn't there to chase goods and services. Some prices go higher, but if you have less money in the economy, you cannot have inflation. That's the whole point, right? Currency, debt-based system with deflation is absolutely not good. So this is a collapse of the previous cycle, right? At this point, you had this cycle which was ETFs, treasury companies, definitely a huge price rise. That has now completely collapsed. Now we have to wait for the next cycle. So the Fed have to come down. We have to just go through this until they change their policy. Do we have to wait for Wash or not? Who knows? But it's definitely a collapse of the cycle. But look, anything around the 200 period is fantastic. If you trade Bitcoin or crypto or TradFi assets, you can trade them all on Bybit. I'll leave the link below. You can get a $30,000 deposit bonus via that link. I'm James, this is MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.